see what happens. Oh, yay. There she is.
Hold on one second. I'm trying to get it straight. Okay.
Good morning, Lauren.
Hi,
Hi. Are you still in Greece right
I am.
now? Oh, how amazing. So, everybody, this is Lauren Hanna. She is the owner of Sonic Yoga, who has been a part of our New York Yoga Life family since the beginning. So, thank you so much for always supporting us and, helping us grow and keeping us, part of the community. Um, and you're taking some much needed time off right now, huh? You're in Greece, you're vacationing, I hope.
Well, a little bit. Half and
So why did you decide to go to Greece? What was tell us. Let us
actually,
live let us live vicariously through you right now since I'm
I
sitting in
hear
my New
it.
York City.
I don't know if you can see behind me, but this is my friend Todd Marchard. He's an amazing photographer and potter, and this is
Wow.
his gallery that he just opened in this little
What?
called Lefkis in Paros. So I'm here. His
Oh,
my friend. And we're just hanging out and
give us the tour. Give us a
uh,
tour. For us that are sitting in New York City, we want to see Greece.
oh, this is all of his amazing pottery. I don't know if you can see
Wow.
it there.
So beautiful.
And yeah, I'll take you outside. You can see. Oh, there's
Oh
the
my God.
city. And this is the
Oh my
little
God.
village.
Is anyone else freaking out? I feel like I'm in Greece right now. This is
Here's a
amazing.
little village. So sweet. Here's the artist. He's talking.
Wow.
Tadster.
Hi.
Yeah, so I just came to visit him. This is his studio where he makes all his art, and
Wow. Oh my
I'm
goodness, those are
actually doing,
beautiful.
yes, I'm doing some pottery with him. I'm a beginner. So, yeah, it's how it's the best thing because you can't touch the phone or computer when you're doing pottery because you're covered in clay. So it's like a brilliant way to like force yourself to not, plug in.
I love it. And it's so tactile, it's like all those textures and everything, and it's so interesting too, because when all this started, you were wearing gloves and masks and we couldn't touch everything and we were so deprived of our senses around us. And now I get it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure getting your hands just dirty and just getting
Yeah.
in all that. I mean, I've never done pottery, so I'm just imagining from like what I saw in Ghost, you just kind of
Yeah,
put your
no, it's really very grounding. It's very like earth element, if you're
Mm,
like stressed or anxious or worried, it really pulls you down into your root chakra, into your first chakra, of earth element. And it's just like really calming and just healing. It's like a healing.
oh. And then you have a beautiful reminder. You have a piece of art when you're done, hopefully, right?
That,
Some sort of vase or what, I guess what that's usually what people make is like bowls and vases
yeah,
and
you can
stuff
make it
like that.
vases, bowls, pictures,
Yeah.
plates, just decorative art. You can make sculpture. You can make, I mean, there's pottery on the wheel, which is
Mm.
a lot of what this is, but I also do things called hand building, and you can basically make anything you need for your house: butter dishes, bowls, storage containers, silk dishes, jewelry things,
Wow.
anything. Yeah, you can make anything with clay.
So how did you meet this artist? Who's your friend? Did you meet in New York or
Um,
did you?
yeah, we met through a mutual friend in New York, out in Montauk, where I live.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then he retired from fashion photography and he sold his home in Brooklyn and he moved here a few years ago and opened this amazing
Wow.
space. And so we've been coming. This is our second time here. We didn't come last year, obviously, we weren't
Right.
traveling. But yeah, my daughter and I are here with him for a couple of weeks, just trying to decompress.
Yeah. Is this your first trip out of the country since all this?
Actually, no, we were in Costa Rica in, I think,
Mm.
March. We have other friends that live down there, so we went to visit them. My
Yeah.
daughter's best friend, we went to see her because we hadn't seen them in like a year. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I have a wanderlust. It's very hard for me to not travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also this year, actually, speaking of studios, the studio was closed for a whole year. So I live in Montauk and it's a very desirable summer destination. So we actually
Mm.
were able to rent our house
I
uh,
bet.
for the month of August, and that was like basically like a nice little security blanket to get us through the winter.
Is that the first time that you rent your home, or is this something you normally
I
do?
mean, we usually rent it for like a couple of, maybe a week here and there, but we rented it for like a whole month this summer.
And that's a totally different experience, like traveling for a month versus like you're living basically, you're living in your new in Greece, and that's
Yeah, I think, like when you go to Europe, it's a lot with the jet lag and just acclimating, and it's nice to be able to, if you can, to settle in. I mean, I have a friend, so it's wonderful. I can just stay with him. I don't have to, worry about staying in a hotel. Sometimes you don't want to stay in a hotel for a month, but
yeah.
it's nice to stay with someone who lives here. So.
I was talking with a friend of mine, actually Lulu, who is how we met. So Lulu, and I said to her, I said, I'm so used to traveling so much, if it's for a retreat, if it's for just pleasure, or just, and I haven't been on a plane in 2 years, which for me, for someone that I know since this started. And the last place I went to was Bali, which, I mean, if you're going to go out in style, go to Bali. So I'm grateful for that. But I actually haven't even left New York State, I mean, I've gone to Woodstock, I've gone, around here and there. And I'm like, that's so insane to me. Like you can get used to anything, quite honestly. Like, and it's just, I'm like, yeah, I'm here in the city, and it's it's been an experience so far. So tell us how the studio is doing. Have you reopened? What's going on with Sonic?
Yeah. So I'm sure as some other New York studio owners may have mentioned, the mayor closed all fitness facilities for a year. So even though Governor Cuomo opened them, Mayor de Blasio wouldn't let the New York City studios open. So we were closed until April 1st. So one full year we were literally not operating. The lucky thing is that we had already been setting up for doing live streaming. It was like something we were adding to our services, and we literally were about to launch the live stream, and then the studio closed. So we got lucky because literally that night, we were live streaming. Like we just went right into it. So we were able to kind of keep the live streaming going through that year, but there was no open in studio classes, no teacher training. So then we reopened April 1st, and we've been open since then. So April, May, June, July. It's been about 4 months we've been open.
And have you had a chance, because you were in town at one point? Did you get to go into the studio at all, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go at all while it was closed? Like, did you go visit? Like, hi.
Actually, did I go? I don't think I did go. Maybe, I think I went like once or twice. Like I had to go to the doctor, so I went in and peeked in. But my managers were actually there. They were working every day.
Okay, because they were doing
team and stuff. So some of the teachers were live streaming from the studio. So the studio was open, and but no one was allowed to come in, just the teachers and the managers.
Gotcha. So that's good. There was still life happening.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of classes, a lot of the teachers would come in and live stream from the studio because we had the whole camera set up and the audio, all that technical stuff for them. Some of them chose to stream from home because, especially a lot of the female teachers, because traveling on the subway was a little sketchy last.
Yeah.
But then once things started to open back up, everyone started back. And then we opened the doors, and now people are back in the studio, and everyone's 6 feet apart, wearing masks. But no, are we wearing masks? No, now we are actually being required again. I don't know if you heard the new mandate.
Yeah.
People have to have vaccine cards.
So I'm
fitness studios.
So how does that work then? Like I was asking a friend of mine this, like, is your staff now, that's a lot of, it's such a heavy issue as it is, but does your studio, do they have to, how do they enforce that? Like now you're a cop and you're a yoga teacher and you're a security bouncer. How do you do that?
I mean, we've just started like querying the members because we have a large membership base at Sonic. And like 99% of the members are like vaccinated, and they're like, fine, they're gonna give us our cards. We're gonna put them in the system. They're gonna be on file, so they don't have to show it every single time they come in.
Right.
We'll drop in for class. They're gonna have to show their card. It's de Blasio the mayor is making it a law. Like it's a mandate. We have no choice. It's really not up to us.
Yeah.
So that goes into play September 13th,
Wow. Yeah, that's right around the corner.
right around the corner. So now,
Yeah.
remembering, we are maskless. You only have to wear a mask now if you're not, but, or if you want to.
Right, right. And everything changes so quickly. I mean, we just never know what's. I remember we were rescheduling an event. We kept rescheduling it, and we were going to put it for a New Year's retreat at the end of this year. We were planning it earlier in the year. We said, "Oh, by New Year's of this year, everything will be gone. Like we know it'll be." And I'm like, we actually ended up canceling it because we asked her, "How do you guys feel about it?" And everyone at that point was like, we're just not comfortable still. And I was like, it'll be fine by the end of the year. And I'm now looking, the end of the year is not too far off, and thinking, kind of glad we just put a hold on that, because it's all this unknowing, all this uncertainty, and it's amazing because this is what our training is part of, is being uncomfortable in this uncertainty all the time. I'm not doing a great job of it lately personally, but at least we have these tools and these teachers to help us, and thank goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what it was like. I don't know what it's like. I do know what it's like. A lot of friends that don't have like, wow, something on the phone. Like, um, but, um, but a lot of fear,
Yeah.
and tools to make what that,
Yeah.
you
Sorry, I
know,
lost your audio for a second there, but I also wanted to ask you, how old is your daughter now?
12.
12. How is she with the remote learning? How are they going back to school?
She's doing great.
Yeah.
Well, with the Montauk, so it's all little, very fun, we full time, whole year. Come back like still just closed. COVID.
Yeah.
So
It's
she's fine.
it's amazing. Like being a teenager already has so many challenges on its own, and like teenagers now have this whole other set of unique things.
Yeah, I don't really feel for the children that weren't in school. I mean, rough,
Yeah.
young. So last March, home was it was a novelty on with all her friends. So happy to go on her.
Yeah.
So when COVID hit, I was like, all right, free for
Yeah.
all. Her all day. So happy, like that's unusual.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of the older kids, some are great, um, but I hope that you know, school didn't fall.
Yeah.
And
We just don't know anymore.
they
We
just
just
can't.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
Mhm.
But I am so impressed that you had started even thinking about live streaming before all this stuff happened, because I think before then it was very unusual. Very few studios were doing it at the time, and it's so many people. I mean, I like for my work, I do a lot of things that are very technical. And for me, when people say live stream, I was like, oh, why would I do that? But you guys were already thinking, like, that's so progressive of you guys to be like, how did that even happen?
Well, I mean, I have been teaching. Basically, it really was motivated because I moved to Montauk. So when I
Hmm.
had moved to Montauk, well, I was actually living in Montauk when I had my car fields. We were together. I thought I was just open out there and just move on with my life, and he was going to sell the studio, and it was just going to be a done deal. But then when it came time to sell it, he was like, "I know the perfect person to buy the studio," and I'm like, "Really? That?" And he's like, "You," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he made me this deal that was sort of like, Part like I said, like, knew it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And
Right.
meanwhile, I'm pregnant with like a newborn. So I just hired an amazing manager, and I went back and forth from Montauk to the city, like, and it all kind of, it got older, and she started going, um, like going to school, and it started more, like, more, like, more, going to tour and go through these moms things. Um, so I started teaching a lot online, not
Mm.
awesome, mentor and
Mm.
coach, and who are really a lot of people who are society. I have a yoga therapy certification, so I kind of do, and also a
Yeah.
MSW. So I started teaching online a lot because I had to, because I went to
Right.
all the time, and also for teaching course home, I taught them all their sadhana, sadhana, a lot of like, so that was all the students like certified, and then they go back to where
Mm.
they. So it just like everyone who comes can't make it, or they're working late that night, or they're
Mm.
moved back to Argentina, wherever they. A lot of people come from all over the world to do teaching. They can stay. So my manager Chris is like a really amazing tech guy. He was like an audio engineer, and he's the one that really set up all the cameras and the audio and did.
Amazing.
So I was really lucky. The idea was to add on to
Mm.
also and libraries, traveling, or you couldn't make it to the studio because everyone's so busy all the time. Every day, but it's hard to come to the studio. Even if it's an hour class, it takes
Yeah.
2 hours out of the day.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time. So we rolled. We think about 30 throughout throughout the whole year. Like it kept dropping slowly, slowly, slowly.
Mm. Mm.
But 30% the whole thing.
Yeah.
They were devoted. And much smaller. We were out there. Classes are amazing. Studios, the community is beautiful. It's in person. Um, so fall, we have like 6 or 7 people signed up. So
Wow.
unless something changes, we see where it goes.
Yeah. It's true. I could have never imagined doing yoga through my computer. Like it seemed at the time so alien to me, and now it's just, I love that these things are now, there's so many more options to practice, and has your practice, I mean, you've kind of you were already remote and you were already away, but has your practice at all changed during all of this for any reason, just personal reasons or just body issue, like anything, like has your personal practice?
I think for me, my whole practice for nurse.
Mm.
My class really like love
Mm.
it out, roll around. nourish my body.
Yeah. Nourish. That's the perfect word.
That it's like, you know, the hour, 5
Yeah.
take care of myself.
Yeah.
I'm getting older. So how the hell did that? So yeah, priorities.
Yeah, for sure. Are you still surfing? Because I know that you surf
Oh,
also. Yeah.
sure. That I
Yeah.
will serve in my age. That's, but yeah, as far as I focus on that, I'm just like, okay, any form of stand up and in practice, good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the body. So the theme of our next show is talking about this briefly before we started is body. And it was a theme we chose obviously way before the pandemic started, but my body has changed so much in this last year, and it's especially I'm working from home now as well, and I'm very fortunate and lucky that I can do this, but I never noticed how grateful I was to have an office and have a proper setup to work. Like I really had to pay attention now to how I was sitting and how long and all these different things. And there was all these new aches and pains in my body. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, and getting older too. So just, if we're lucky, we get older. So it's a good thing. Um, so to wrap up, is there anything you want to share? Any upcoming, you have your teacher training coming up. Are there any retreats coming up or anything you want to share with people?
We do have a new program out. Um, it's on format on a new platform called Sonic Guru.
Ooh,
Amazing new community platform where people can join. It's people who are looking to practice move asana, who need guidance
mm,
work, but they don't want to be. So this is like, so basically what'll happen is there's going to be a community platform, sort of like book, where you have a page with your own photos and you can talk to other people who are
oh wow.
Sonic Guru. All things. You'll be assigned to a pod, so you'll
Mm,
be a pod of 12. You'll be guided by your own. And that the fall cohort, like fall, it's actually, and it's the theme is post-COVID recovery.
mm,
So anchoring health with practice, reduce stress, anxiety, the nervous system, um, their sense of spirit, their sense of spirituality, learning to
mm,
trust, different rituals, and also our daily practices. So we're balance your dosha and nutrition.
mm,
So each mentor will have a group, and
mm,
will and then the mentor guide
mm.
on what they are. So it's sort of very flexible. And if you are a member in the cohort, the other have access to the library, all those reports will also be mentioned, adding features and the store for well, yoga products, also online courses. And what else? There's one other thing. So that's the program, and we're launching it, first cohort at the end of September. We're trying to make it super affordable, so
right.
people can really, that part of support. So many tools that they offer. And aside from asana, they don't really get all the good stuff. Learn more about yoga. You can, there are ways to do it. Google, you can work up book, but having like that way, so the solution like or whatever challenge that you have. So it's really a way to full practice of philosophy, spirituality, as mantra, food,
Wow.
stuff
Yeah.
that you get when, but
Yeah.
not everybody wants to. You have to pay like $3,000
Right.
go through teacher training if you don't want to. So this solution advantage of. So that's our new offering. You're getting
That's quite an offering.
Yeah, I've never talked about it, spoken about it. It's been in the works now for about planning stage for about 6 months, and now it's finally starting to. We're getting the software platform together, and so it's exciting. We're going to be launching soon, and the membership signups will start, and then the program actually starts.
That's amazing. Amazing work, Lauren. Thank you. Can you take us for another quick tour of Greece? Well, before we go, just give us another quick little tour.
One more little tour. This is my friend. This is the back door of the studio and looking out into the little village. And
for anyone that just joined us, she is in, what island are you on, Lauren?
I'm on the island.
Oh, shoot. I think we lost you. Darn. Oh, Lauren was taking us on a tour of the studio she was staying at in Greece, just so like we could have a little peek into her trip with her friend. She's staying at her friend who's an artist and owns a beautiful studio space who used to be a fashion photographer. Oh, we lost her. Well, thank you so much, Lauren, owner of Sonic Yoga and your friend with the beautiful studio in Greece. So if you want to learn more, Sonic Yoga is online and their studio is open in New York City. And thank you again to Lauren and everyone who's joined us today.